What's happening, party people? Happy, thriving Thursday. This is your daily morning motivational message. Motivation is a lot like taking a bath, doing your personal hygiene, understanding that the exterior is very important. You don't want to walk into a room and have bad breath. You don't want to go into someone's personal space with body odor. You don't want to present yourself at an interview and you're sloppy. You don't want to do that unless you have exceptional mental acuity and mental game. There's a movie called The Pursuit of Happiness, and it stars Will Smith and his son Jaden Smith, and it tells the story of Christopher. I can't remember his last name. I apologize. But it's the true story of just this gentleman who was at one point in time living in a shelter with his son while preparing to become a stockbroker, stock trader. And in his initial interview, to be able to run in this internship, and then if he passes the hurdle of the internship, he's going to be the one person that gets offered a job, which he ended up doing. And so he goes into the interview, but the night before, he gets arrested for a stack of unpaid parking tickets. And so at the time of his arrest, he is painting his apartment. So he's taken to jail and he's got, painting clothes on. And he doesn't have time to go home and change because the interview for this internship at this very prestigious stock trader firm is like happening in minutes. So he's running. He goes to the interview and he looks a hot mess. Like he's just got on a members only jacket with paint all over it. He's got on jeans and no dress shirt, no tie. And so he's sitting there and the people that are interviewing, they're looking at him like, what is going on? And the one dude that vouched for him to get the interview is like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I put this guy up. Everybody's just looking some type of way. And he's like, all right, I know y'all are looking at me like I'm crazy. Here's the truth. I got arrested last night for unpaid parking tickets. And they just start laughing. They're like, parking tickets? Like, what? Who gets arrested for unpaid parking tickets? And he said, at the time I was painting my apartment. And the lead of the firm says, well, Christopher, what would you say if I hired someone who came to an interview and they didn't have on a dress shirt and tie? And he's like, but the dude had on really nice pants. And everybody just starts laughing. His mental game, his ability to navigate a very difficult situation, to not be defined by what he didn't have. It's not what you don't have. It's what you think you need that can throw you off, that can completely take you out of the game. He was not going to allow that situation, something that was unexpected. He did not expect to get arrested at his home while painting it. He did not expect to have to spend the night in jail. He did not expect to have to show up for a one-time shot at this very prestigious position and running this internship. He didn't expect to have to show up fresh out of a jail cell in clothing that he was painting in the night before. He didn't expect any of that. But his mental game, his focus, because he was about his business. He was standing on his business, which was, I am going to get this. I am going to make it happen no matter what. And because of his sharpness and his quickness, and he was focused and all in on getting this position, he had a timely reply. And they looked at that, and guess what? They hired him for the internship. He secured his spot. He pulled off an impossible scenario in that interview because of his confidence, because of his quick wit, and because he was standing on his business. So I want you to make a decision to stand on your business, whatever it is that you are applying yourself to. If you're building a business, stand on your business and how you show up for that business each and every day. Every day you start out and you have a mental checklist of what it is that you're going to fulfill and get done, what you're going to promote, the calls you're going to make, the connections you're going to form, the effort you're going to put forth, the time you're going to set aside and time block to put into your business. Make sure you stand on your business and execute. If you're in college, if you're in graduate school, if you're pursuing a higher degree, if you're learning a trade skill, stand on your business. Be committed. Make sure you're putting in the extra work to study and prepare. Make sure you're putting in the extra work so you're focused on the task at hand. You're doing the material, you're learning it and relearning it. And so it just becomes a part of you. If you're very vested in improving the quality of your relationship, you might be a husband, you might be a wife, you might be a partner, and you want to continue to develop that. Stand on your business. What can you do today to bring validation, credibility, appreciation to that situation? If you're focusing on leveling up in your fitness and your health and your well-being, stand on your business. Make sure that you're setting aside time to work out, to exercise, to go for a walk, to go for a run. Make sure you're putting good things into your body. Make sure you're saying no to those things that don't add to that mission and to that outcome. It was Siddhartha that said, I put all of my focus on what it is that's before me because I have the discipline to say no to everything except the thing of which I'm pursuing. That's Siddhartha, Herman Hesse. So you have to understand, whatever it is you're going to give yourself over to, stand on your business. When I decided I was going to be an academic scholar, I made the decision long before it became a reality. I got accepted into college on probation. I went into Morehouse like, if you mess up one time, you out. So I was already a hot mess going into the situation. But you know what I did? I decided to put my focus on what I was there to do. So I looked to my left and my right, and I'm looking at people who are academic giants. And I'm saying to myself, that's who I'm going to compete with. That's who I'm going to focus on outworking and matching them in their intellect. And so I took on that identity before I actually came to the realization in the transcripts. But guess what? Graduated with honors. So that was not in the cards. No one would have anticipated that from that kid that was graduating high school barely and going into college on probation. When I made a commitment that I was going to be great as an artist and an actor, I was standing on my business long before I got there. So when I was studying acting in community theater, I was the first one there and the last one to leave. I was cleaning up, I was setting up, I was doing whatever was required to maximize the experience because I was standing on my business. And you don't go from a community theater where you have to pay. I had to pay to get on stage because we had to buy our makeup and provide our own costume wear. I had to do all of that. You don't go from that to being on Broadway and Julius Caesar starring Denzel Washington. You don't go from that unless you standing on your business from day one. So I'm challenging you right now, today, whatever it is that you're pursuing, whatever it is that you want to be about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't just think about it, be about it. Stand on your business, how you show up, what you're willing to give up so you can go up, all of the things you're willing to focus on, because what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And you stay focused, following one course until successful. You stay focused until you get what you came for. If you got some value, please like and subscribe. Pass this video on because it is a blessing to be a blessing. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.